funeral in a real cemetery for Breaking Bad's main character is starting to turn into a real big deal. A lot of people could show up for the fake funeral procession and burial, so a dozen deputies will be there to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. News 13's Alex Goldsmith has the story.
Jessica, it's a strange situation. The sheriff pitching in to help honor the legacy of a make-believe meth kingpin.
How do you say goodbye? Breaking Bad fans have been in mourning since the show ended last month, and the main character died with it. We've seen a Walter White obituary in the paper and a descanso where he was killed in the show's finale.
I just looked at it and I'm like, this isn't enough. We need to do something more.
So Giacomo Bazell decided Walter White and other characters killed on the show needed a funeral. The plan? To sell tickets to it, with the money going to help the homeless.
They help meth addicts, heroin addicts, people that are homeless, providing them with care.
It was clear to all of us that this was an opportunity to make a true and lasting impact.
So far, it's worked.
As of this morning, we've raised over $11,000.
But Saturday's fake funeral will have a real burial site at Sunset Memorial Park, with a real Walter White tombstone that'll stay there. There's also plans for a 5-mile funeral procession, with a dozen sheriff's deputies serving as escorts, 2 of them paid for by taxpayers.
When I was first contacted about this, I had to Google Walter White because I didn't know who he was.
Sheriff Dan Houston says he doesn't get the show's appeal and understands the event might seem controversial, but says ultimately it's the cause that matters.
I'm still good with it because at the end of the day, Albuquerque healthcare needs money to help these people, and that's really what this is about.
Sunset Memorial Park's general manager says Saturday's funeral will be held after all the real funerals. That Walter White tombstone will stay at the cemetery, but the GM says they'll remove it if fans end up being disrespectful. Back to you.
Okay, Alex, another example of how crazy this fake funeral is getting. YouTube is planning on streaming it live.